Effective information systems, IS, auditing extends beyond identifying control deficiencies. It requires clear communication of audit results and continuous enhancement of audit quality. The value of an audit engagement is ultimately measured by management's ability to understand findings, assess residual risk, and implement corrective actions. Consequently, reporting, communication, quality assurance, QA, and continuous improvement constitute essential components of the IS audit lifecycle and are emphasized within ISACA's Information Technology Assurance Framework, ITF. Reporting and communication techniques. ISACA Reporting Standard, 1401, requires auditors to prepare audit reports that comprehensively document the audit process, inquiries performed, observations, evidence collected, findings, conclusions, and recommendations. Reports should clearly define the audit scope, period of coverage, criteria or standards evaluated, limitations encountered, and sufficient supporting evidence for all conclusions reached. Follow-up activities, 1402, further require auditors to verify that management has appropriately addressed reported deficiencies after the audit is completed. An audit report serves as the formal communication vehicle between the auditor and stakeholders. It should be objective, balanced, concise, evidence-based, and understandable to both technical and executive audiences. Rather than merely listing deficiencies, the report should communicate the overall effectiveness of controls, residual risks, and the business implications of identified weaknesses. A professional IS audit report typically includes audit scope and objectives, applicable audit standards and criteria, controls, evaluated test procedures, performed, summary of evidence collected, audit findings and exceptions, materiality and residual risk assessments, auditor conclusions and opinions, recommendations for improvement, management responses and remediation commitments. These components ensure that decision-makers receive sufficient information to prioritize corrective actions and strengthen governance processes. Communication begins long before report issuance. Throughout the engagement, auditors should maintain continuous communication with management through a structured communication plan, including provided by client, PBC, lists documenting evidence requests, regular written status reports summarizing completed and upcoming activities, periodic status meetings to discuss progress, issues, and emerging findings, clearly defined communication channels between auditors and auditees. Continuous communication reduces misunderstandings, facilitates timely evidence collection, and minimizes disputes during report finalization. Following report issuance, auditors conduct a closing meeting to explain findings, answer management questions, clarify recommendations, and obtain feedback. Post-audit follow-up subsequently verifies remediation progress and demonstrates management's commitment to continuous improvement. Proper follow-up also strengthens the relationship between auditors and stakeholders while increasing organizational accountability. Quality assurance and improvement of the audit process. Audit quality assurance ensures that audit engagements comply with professional standards while producing consistent, reliable, and defensible conclusions. A high-quality audit process increases stakeholder confidence and supports organizational governance by ensuring that audit opinions are based upon sufficient evidence and sound professional judgment. ISACA's ITF establishes mandatory standards governing planning, evidence collection, reporting, and follow-up activities, thereby providing the primary quality framework for IT assurance engagements. Reporting standards specifically address report quality and subsequent follow-up activities, ensuring that audit recommendations lead to measurable organizational improvements. Quality assurance begins with standardized audit methodologies. Consistent planning procedures, testing matrices, work papers, lead sheets, documentation standards, and review processes ensure that audits performed by different auditors produce comparable results while minimizing subjectivity and procedural variation. Comprehensive audit documentation supports quality by preserving engagement documentation and audit charters, meeting minutes and communications, testing matrices and lead sheets, evidence repository, sampling methodologies, test procedures, and supporting documentation, completion checklists, and review records. Proper documentation facilitates supervisory review, regulatory inspection, knowledge transfer, and future audit reuse. An effective quality assurance process incorporates management review and supervisory oversight throughout the audit lifecycle. Senior auditors review testing quality, evidence sufficiency, materiality assessments, and report wording to ensure that conclusions accurately reflect observed conditions and residual risks. When disagreements arise between audit staff and management regarding findings or risk severity, additional testing or documentation may be required to support defensible conclusions. Continuous improvement is equally important. Organizations should periodically review audit methodologies, incorporate lessons learned, update audit programs for emerging technologies and regulatory changes, and leverage automation through computer-assisted audit techniques, CATs, and continuous auditing. Feedback from auditees, peer reviews, post-engagement evaluations, and quality assessments should be integrated into future audit planning to improve efficiency and effectiveness. For CISA professionals, excellence in reporting and communication combined with a disciplined quality assurance and continuous improvement process ensures that audit engagements produce credible, actionable assurance. These practices strengthen stakeholder confidence, improve governance maturity, facilitate timely remediation of control deficiencies, and enhance the long-term value of the information systems audit function.